Hello, let's do the New York Times Hard Sudoku for May 30th, 2024. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself in the Sudoku pad software that I use, which does allow for additional notation that I make good use of. And I'm going to get started right now. All right, so we have two ones here looking in. So there's a one in one of these two. That's it for repeats, surprisingly. Let's see if we have anything like crossings. Yeah, so this 5 and this 5. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking at givens in the boxes, and I'm looking at when they avoid a row or column, right? So these givens, they share a column, so they avoid this row. You can kind of imagine this sort of gap in the defenses. I don't know, we're not playing chess here, but this 5 does look into the box like this, and it does a near miss on this 2, 3, right? So I just look down here at these two columns for another 5. You can find it really fast. Like, it's a really fast scan, and it finds really important things. So because 5 can't be in any of these cells, we end up with a 5 in one of these two. And that's going to point down, and this 5 is going to look up, this 5 looks in. And so there's a 5 in one of these two. I had a question about why I use certain prepositions. It's really about where my focus is, right? So if I'm looking at this 5, I say it points up. If I'm looking at this box and I notice this 5, I say the 5 looks in. I don't know. It's just whatever's natural to me, the language that I use. But the preposition itself doesn't matter. The important key word is look. And look, it just means, hey, because the 5 is here, it's looking at its row, column, and box, using some preposition to eliminate 5 from all of those. And depending on your perspective, the preposition may be different. But my choice of preposition is purely just, I don't know, based on my focus, based on whatever sounds natural at the time. I know I mix it up a lot, which is weird. Anyway, I noticed we have these two 9s looking up, and this 9 looking in. So let's place that 9 as well. And basically, when I'm scanning for crossings, you'll also notice things like that quite often. Anything that really affects these boxes, hopefully you're noticing. So for example, we have a 4 and a 5 looking in. This 5 does help, putting a 5 in one of these two. And that's going to immediately place this 5 we just found, the corner marks we just found, because these 5s point left, eliminating 5 from there. So this is the only place for 5 in the box. And that does still do the same thing for those 5s. The 4 looking up, unfortunately, it's in 3 places, so not as helpful. But notice I'm noticing this gap here, right? We're noticing gaps. This gap here is pretty major, but 1 and 9 already in the box, so unhelpful. This gap is major, the 2 looking in, but there's not a 2 down here that helps. This 2 doesn't help, right? So nothing good there. So I don't think we're going to find anything else in terms of things to find for this band. So let's move. Actually, we do have this. This has 4 open cells. I like to think about the digits. This can't be 4. Yeah, I don't think we're going to find a whole lot, but let's think about it anyway, just in case. Yeah, and this can't be 2. So we need 2. By thinking about it, you'll miss anything. It doesn't take that long to just go 2, 4, 7, 8. Anything special about 2, 4, 7, 8? Well, this can't be 2, so it's 4, 7, 8. This can't be 4, so it's 2, 7, 8. It's not 7 either. Okay. This is why we think about it and we notice things. All right. These can be anything. 3, 4, 7, 8. Yeah, pretty sure. Okay, let's move on to this band now. Just need to find a buddy for the 3. Don't have anything. Now 2, 7, 9. We have the 2. So the 2s look in. This 2 looks down. You'll notice I always start scanning the band using the box with the fewest givens. That way I don't have to think about 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. I never have to list that many givens. Unless there's just a ton of givens in the band, in which case I might just go digit by digit. Okay, so we found the buddy 2. That's the only buddy in this entire band. We're looking for anything looking into this box that's going to be helpful. So for example, the 1 and the 7. Super helpful. Start with the 7, right? Because we also have this helper 7 over here, placing the 7 in the box. And now the 1 looking down places the 1 in the box. These have buddies. Let's just immediately follow up on that. So we have the 7s. And then we also have this 1. My brain gets ahead of my mouth and my actions. And I try not to let that happen, but sometimes it slips through. I'm usually thinking about the next step while I'm explaining this step, which is how I keep it flowing. Unless I go on a tangent talking about how I keep things flowing, which grounds things to a halt. But anyway, the 2 digits here are 3 and 9. We have this 9 helping, telling us the 9's here and the 3's here. We finished the whole box. Let's follow up on these 3's and 9's just because we're here. So the 9's here. And then we also have this 3. There's no buddy 3 up here, nothing really helping here. So 3 being down here is not super interesting. I'm not going to follow up on this stack quite yet. We're still scanning the band, so let's just do that first. So this 3 does have a buddy now. So 3 looks in here. The 9's got a buddy, putting a 9 up here. We got the 7 as well. I'm just following up on all these at once. And then we got the 1, and then, oh yeah, so this one is placed even before we had that one. So we get this 1 here, which now has a buddy. Putting a 1 up here. Now, we have a lot of corner marks in here, so it's a little bit harder to notice, but as I place the 1s, I was looking for it. Looking for it after you place the 1s is a little bit harder, in my opinion, because I know I'm about to put 1 in one of these 2 cells, so I'm immediately looking to see, do I already have a restriction on these 2 cells, the 9 in this case. So I'm ignoring the 5, right? I don't care about the 5. What's happened here is I found a 1-9 hidden pair, because the 1 and the 9 are both restricted to the same 2 cells in this box. And so the 1-9 end up there. Hidden pairs are really, really important because they eliminate everything else from those cells, meaning this can't be a 5 anymore, which places this 5 here. Now that 5 has a buddy, putting a 5 one of those 2. So getting that 1-9 pair seems very important. I think the next thing to look at is we do have 1-5-9 here and 1-5-9 here. This is actually something I haven't talked about in a long time, so let's talk about it. We have roping. I don't know why, but the New York Times puzzles, it's less frequent than if you were to generate a random puzzle, and I'm not sure what causes that, but they might filter for it. But I mean, here it is, so it's interesting. Or maybe I just haven't been looking for it as much, but roping it's just a really nice shorthand to help you understand a band better, and you can just scan it much more quickly and understand things about it much more quickly. But really, to prove it, you only need the concept of the naked triple, which is something you need for the puzzle anyway. So you could just do it all through naked triples. But let's talk about roping. So roping is part of an overall theory called braid theory, and it has to do with how the box rows kind of interleave with each other. And when you have roping, what it means is that they perfectly interleave. So what do I mean by that? Well, these 3 green cells are, oh, sorry, this isn't roped. Oh, my mistake. I'll talk about it anyway. But I'm sorry, this is not roped. I for some reason was imagining both of these were 1-5-9. If these were both 1-5-9, then this would be a 5, but obviously that's not the case. But okay, so now I feel like I've led you on because we don't have roping here. But anyway, what I was going to say is, imagine this 3 were a 5. Then we would have 1-5-9 here and 1-5-9 here. And so in this box, these would have to be the green cells as well of 1-5-9. And then so we're playing pretend here because this is not the case for this band, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to go over it since I already talked about how it's cool. So now let's just pick another box row like this one here. We'll call that purple. Whatever these cells end up being, we'll call those purple. And because the greens are the same, they're not the same, but because they're the same in our imagination, because this is purple, what that means is that the remaining cells have to be the other 3. So we're going to call that blue. And now in this row, these have to be purple and these have to be blue. And now in this row, these have to be purple. And for the box, these have to be blue. And for this box, these have to be purple. And this is the roping pattern. So whenever you notice, all you have to do is seed it with 3 digits that are the same, a box row that's identical to another box row within the same band. If you get that, then that is roping. And now you know that this is 1-5-9. This is whatever the purple cells are, like 6, 7, 8. And then these are 2, 3, 4. But that's not the case here because these don't actually match. So actually what we can do is we can say, because these don't match, we know we aren't roped, which means we can't put a 5 here. We already found that with these 5s, or this 5 that's placed. But we know just by looking, because the 1-9s match, you're always going to end up with 2 of them matching, and then a third one is different. So like here, we know we have this 7 here. We don't know if the 7 is the odd one out, or if it's one that matches with a pair. So we can't really use that very effectively, but it is going to happen, and it can be interesting to think about. So we know that this is not 3 or 5. Unfortunately, we already knew it wasn't 3 or 5. But anyway. I'm gonna move on now. I just spent a bunch of time on roping that doesn't exist in this band, but if I do notice roping, I'll point it out if we get it in any of our bands or stacks. I know we're not going to get it here, right? Because we have the 1 and 7, so we have 1, 8, 2 here, so there's no 7 repeated here, so we're not going to get it there. Anyway, yeah, it is surprisingly rare in the New York Times puzzles. I wonder if they filter it out. Anyway, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 6, 7, 8. So this can't be the 7. We end up with the 7 over here, with this being a 6, 8. I want to fill this pair because we have the 1, 9. So this pair is 4, 5. And now this is a triple 3, 6, 8, which will fill. Oops, I didn't mean to be in corner mark mode. I also didn't mean to press 5. So 2 mistakes in 1. All right, so we got the 3, 6, 8, the 4, 5, the 1, 9. I don't think there's anything else I want to mark. Although this can't be 2 or 3, which the row needs. So this is worth marking. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it could be 6. Can't be 7, 8. Oh, this is a naked 6. Yeah, okay. So let's go over it more carefully just to make sure. It can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, or 9. So yeah, that is a naked 6. Good thing I looked at it. So that is a 6 there. And I know I get questions all the time. How do you spot naked singles like that? You'll notice what I was looking at was, let's go back. I know I rarely go back, but what I was looking at was that, okay, I got these 3s marked over here, which means, yes, there's 5 open cells here, but really it's 4 open cells over here because we know the 3 is not involved. And I was like, oh, I've got the 2's corner marked here as well. So this cell might be interesting because it's not the 2 or the 3. And I did the math in my head. I said, well, there's 5 open cells, and this isn't 2 of them. So at most it's 3. That's worth thinking about. That's worth marking. And it just so happened to also not be able to be the 4 or the 8, which reduced it to 1 single digit, the 6. All right, so we'll just redo. So now this is reduced to a pair as well. The 2 and the 4, it looks like. There we go. So now we've just reduced this whole band to pairs. Non-rote pairs. Notice this ended up 6. Not that we thought anything different, but okay. Now we're going to look at this band here. There's nothing in the middle box other than some corner marks and nothing to write home about. There's no repeats between these two boxes is all I'm trying to say. But we are going to try to look for geometry if we can. I'm always suspicious of patterns like this, right? We got the 1, 3, 9, right? This row needs 1, 3, 9. Where can they go? I am seeing actually that it can't be here. So that's already a little bit interesting, but not interesting enough to place anything. So 1, 3, 9 are going to end up in these 4 cells somewhere. That's something we're going to want to consider. We can also consider 1, 3, 9 in this column, but 1 and 9 are already placed. So we would really just be looking at where 3 is restricted, which could be worth looking at. Unfortunately, there's 2 places. But, you know, it could have been 1 place. You don't know. So always good to look. We got this 4, 5, 8. It doesn't avoid anything like this. But 4, 5, 8 maybe for this column. We already have the 5. So we need 4 and 8. Nothing good there, right? I'm always on the lookout for that kind of thing, especially when you've got this formation and there's not much to do in the band or stack. We could look at like 4, 8 in this row, but this is just so open. I think it's not worth looking at much more. I think we just want to move on to the stacks. So 4, 5, 8, any buddies for 4, 5, 8 up here? The 5s are done. 4, no buddy, 8, no buddy. Okay. We've got the 2, 3, and 5. We already checked the 5, 2, and 3. We just have 3. So these 3s look down. This 3 looks in. It does place the 3 here. Now the 3 does have a buddy. This 3 looks down, putting a 3 in one of these 2. I'm starting to notice these corner marks. We've got 1, 3, 7, 9 in 5 cells. If we limited 1 more digit to those, we'd end up with a hidden quintuple, which would be pretty fun. Which would mean we'd have a naked quad here or something else going on. But we don't have that yet. And so what I'm mostly interested then is scanning these digits for anything I haven't corner marked yet. So the 1 and the 7 are corner marked, the 3 and the 9 are. So just the 6. We have this 6 looking down. Unfortunately, it means yes, we have 2 6s looking down. But unfortunately, the 6 is here, right? There's an escape hatch for the 6. So this cannot be a hidden quintuple because the 6 can end up here. So unfortunately, we do not have a digit limited to just these 5 cells, but we're close. And we know these are very restricted, which we already know from the column. But anyway, we haven't gotten there yet. Let's keep scanning this stack. I was following up on these 3s. That's what caused that. But so that was the only repeated digit, the 3. This column is down to 3 digits, so we're going to scan that now. We need a 1, 1, 7, 9. The 7 can only go here. That removes that 7. We still have 2 places for 7, and then this can't be 1, so this is our 9, and this is our 1, giving us this 9 here. I've got this 1 looking in now, so 1 is only in one of these 2 cells. That's going to point up, removing 1 from here, placing this 1. Nice. This box is down to 4 open digits, 4, 6, 7, 8. There's really nothing looking at it, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 4 digits here. We need the 1. We know these are down to 3. What are they? So we have 1. We need 2, 2, 6, 9. So this can't be the 9 either. So this is 2, 6. I guess this is 2, 6, 9. These are 1, 2, 6, 9. This can't be 9. So 1, 2, 6. Okay. I don't think those markings help much. Okay. How about this stack here? So 1, 6, 7, 9. We have those all corner marked already. This box is full. How about this column here? So we need 2, 4, 5, 8. So we know the 2 is restricted down here because this one can't be 2. So this is down to 4, 5, 8. This can't be 8, so it's 2, 4, 5. This can't be 4, so it's 2, 5, 8. And this can't be 5, so it's 2, 4, 8. Not super exciting. Is what it is. Let's just do this next stack here. So we have got 1, 5, and 9. Looks like the 1s and the 9s are done already. The 5 does not have a buddy. And this box is not restricted enough to do anything with. Okay. I do have this 4 looking in. Not super helpful. We got a triple left in this column. We need a 4, 6, and 8. 4, 6, 8. I'll mark it. This can't be 4. That's it. That's all we get. Okay. I think our first pass is kind of done. I didn't find very much, did I? So there's probably something I missed that's a bit more subtle. I am noticing the 7 looking. I'm going box by box now. So I'm noticing this 7 looking in. I'm going to look a little bit more carefully at each box one at a time. I find that that's a good next step there. We can look for a lot of things at once by focusing on the box. I don't think this box has much more going on with it. In terms of things looking into it, right? These are already placed in the box. Just the 7 is not already placed here. The 6, not super helpful. So yeah, let's move on to this box here. I'm noticing the 5 corner marks, just making sure that that gets respected, but we do have these 5s already, so it's a pretty trivial marking. I've got 4 and 5 looking in. We already noticed that earlier. It's still that the 4 is still not quite good enough to mark. 7 is limited down here. I'm noticing that, along with the 9. Yeah, so this 1, 7, 9 are interesting, but yeah, okay, I'm not seeing anything else to do with this box, unfortunately. How about this box? Okay, I have this 6 looking in, this 6 looking in. I missed this crossing on 6s. I probably placed this 6 much later. So we do end up with a 6 in one of these two. So I didn't follow up on it properly is what happened. It's hard to follow up with crossings, but I could have. I just didn't. So we have all these 6s looking in, putting a 6 in one of these two. I don't think it did a whole lot at the moment. This not being 6, is that interesting? I mean, I guess it's down to 4, 7, 8 for what it's worth. It does kind of try to match up. Like these are trying to match up, but they don't. Anything else of note about this box? Maybe something looking into here. Could that be? We got 1, 3, 5, 6. So 3 and 6. 6 we took care of. 3s? Yeah, there's just nothing to do. Okay. This box we know everything about. So same with this. So we're going to move on to here. We do have the 1s pointing. Make sure I respected that. It looks like I did. Otherwise, I don't really see what to do here. Got 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. The 3 and the 5 already in this column. So is 4, 7, 8 helpful? No. Not that I can tell. Okay. How about this box? So this box might be interesting just because it's empty still. So maybe there's something I'm missing about restrictions. So we've restricted the 2. So we restricted the 1, 2, 3. We have not restricted the 4. So let's just pay attention to the digits we haven't cornered yet. So 4 is in the corners. We have the 5s in these cells. I'm just trying to be mindful of what I'm discovering here. We already have the 6s marked, 7s, and then the 8s are like this. Yeah, I don't think we're finding anything with that. Huh, this puzzle's got some subtlety to it that I haven't noticed yet. And I don't know that I'm going to notice it here, but we'll try. We've got the 4 looking in. Huh, yeah, I don't really see anything else of note. Sorry for silence, but I think what we have to look for are restricted cells in areas we wouldn't normally look for them. So there could be a restricted cell in this box. Let's start here. So the other interesting thing about the corner marks is where we're lacking at the corner marks. I know every cell has at least one in it, but I'm gonna pay attention to each of these individually. So we know this can't be 1, 2. It could be 3. It could be 4. It can't be 5, 6, 7, and it can't be 8 or 9. So it is down to 3, 4. This cell can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be 6. Can't be 7, 8, or 9. Nah, we have a -6 right here. So that's what we were missing, and that makes this a 2 and a 9. 4 and 2. These aren't 6s. So that's a very, very difficult. We had 2 kind of difficult naked singles to spot in this puzzle. This one I spotted because I had a whole lot of corner marks in this box, and this one had only one of them in it. Same with this one. Notice this one ended up restricted as well, but not quite a naked single. Let's just clean these up. I removed a 2 from here. In fact, this is down to a 1, 6 pair, which should be very helpful because the 1, 6 looks up. Placing this 6. This is down to 4, 7, 9. It's not a 7 or a 9, so it's a 4, giving us, I don't know, giving us that 4, I guess. Not much else to follow up on there. Now we have that 4 that we were wondering about. So there's a 4 up here. That does make this a hidden 4, 5 pair. I still think this puzzle has more to give. I don't think I'm gonna like try to speed the end of this. 4, 5 pair. So this is 1. No, not 1. This is 2, 3, 8. This can't be 2, 8. So this is the 3. That places this naked 4. Nice. So now I noticed it displaced a 3. So I'm gonna look, and there's the 3 in this box here. The 1 is now here. I displaced the 9 when I placed something, and I didn't follow up. So the 9 ends up here, the 7 ends up there. This is our 5, and we're left with a 2, 8 pair here with a 4 on top, with that being 5 there. 4, 5 got resolved, kind of by itself. That's a 2, 8. Oh, I made a mistake because I cannot place a 4 in this column. So maybe it was, okay, maybe I went too fast somewhere. I'm gonna go back to this naked 6. I think we were good up till then. I'm just gonna double check that I didn't like speed through something here. So let's just double check that this can't be anything. So it can't be 1. It can't be 2 because the 2's claim in this column. I agree with that, which does, by the way, mean the 2's here. I should have marked that. So we're gonna redo this. So it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be 6. It can't be 7, 8, and it can't be 9 because there's a 9 in the column. Okay, so this is a naked 6. We're good there. It didn't have any corner marks in it. That does resolve our 2 and our 9 here, which resolves our 4 and our 2. So now we are down, oops. Now we are down to this 1, 6 pair here, which does place, oopsie, does place this 6 here. Okay, we remove that 9, removes this corner mark 9, which places the 9. This can't be 2 anymore. This can't be 6 anymore. This can't be 6 anymore. So the 1 and the 3, I think I might have placed a 1 or a 3. Oh no, it's because I got some stuff up here that helped the 3, 4. So let's keep going. This can't be 4 anymore. And in fact, now 4 in this box, let's see. Oh yeah, so we had a naked 4 here, I think. No, we were down to 4. Maybe this was it, 4, 7, 8. I think placing this 4 was my mistake, because I thought I saw 7, 8 over here, but I don't. So this is down to 4, 8, which does not place it. Okay, 4 is here. There we go. That's what did it. So we know this ends up 4, but we're not going to use that. We don't use large contradiction chains like that. I feel like if I gave a solve path like that, everyone would be like, what are you doing? Okay, so we need 2, 4, 7, 8 here. We know the 4 is over here. That's important for this row. The 4 is claim. So this can't be 4. That places the 4 in this box. That gives us this 3 still. Actually, I think we had it the other way. Did we? I don't remember. Anyway, that's not a 4. We got our 4 in this column, which we were missing last time. Yeah, we had resolved this as a 4, which I think was the ultimately wrong thing. So we actually don't know. I think this 4 forced it though. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're gonna solve this. We're gonna solve this right and not worry about the mistake. 4, 5, 7 is what's left here. Let's mark that. So I think I'm right that there is more for this puzzle to give. So we're gonna go slower. These 4s claim, but we don't care because we already have these 4s. Okay. 4, 5, 7 up here. Now this 5, 7 does place this as a 4. That gives us the 8, the 4, and the 7. Gives us the 8 and 7. This can't be a 4. This is 5 or 7. Can't be a 7 because of the box. Okay, so that's 5, that's 7. That's 5, that's 4. We get our 8 at the top. That's a 6, that's an 8. We get our 2 and our 5. We get our 2 here. This is a 3. 4 and 5 here. That's a 4. Okay, now we just finish it any way we want. How about these 2 rows? This needs a 2. This row needs a 8. That gives us 3 and 8. Down here, what do we need? 1 and 8. So that's 1, that's 8, that's 6, that's 1. Sure. What are these 3? We need a 2. Goes there. We need a 6, which goes there, and we need a 7. And then up here we need a 3 and a 7, and we're done. Wow, that did take a while. It all hinged on this naked 6 here, which I don't know how early we could have noticed that. Because I think it did require these claiming 2s, I want to say. Were they 2s? I think they were claiming 2s. So we couldn't have done that super early on. Early on, it's restricted. It can't be 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. It's not that restricted from just our givens. I think this is going to be something, if you're not using auto candidates, and even with auto candidates, you have to notice the claiming 3s. But I think this is going to be a sticking point for people, is that naked 6 right there. So yeah, much longer solve than usual today. In fact, longer than my medium video today. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was helpful. You also got to see my explanation of roping, which wasn't... Let's see. Can we find any roping in this puzzle? None of the bands are roped. I'm looking for like 4, 5, 8. Don't have that there. 4, 5, 6. Don't have it there. 5, 6, 9. So normally you would expect about a third of all bands to be roped. I don't know the exact statistics. And so the fact that we have puzzles consistently not roped with the New York Times makes me think that they explicitly filter for puzzles, at least with too much roping in it. So it's kind of interesting. I think roping does make things certain things a little bit easier to consider. So maybe that's why they chose to do that. But I could also just be bias on my part where I don't look for it very often, or don't notice it enough. So anyway, let me know if you have noticed roping very often or not very often in the New York Times puzzles compared to like a random computer generated Sudoku. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, I was also going to say, not only did you get to notice the roping, you also got to see how I recover from mistakes. Sometimes when people come up with a contradiction like that, I can't place a 4 in here, better restart the puzzle. Just think about, what was the last thing I did that I might have messed up on? And you can just use the undo feature and undo back to there. And then you can say, okay, well, let's go a little bit slower. Let's think about what I did. And I found the mistake. The mistake was placing this 4. I thought this was a naked 4, but it could also be 8, and it ended up being an 8. Now, unfortunately, if I make a lucky mistake, I can't know that happened. So if this happened to have been able to be a 4, even though it didn't have to be at that point in time, then that would have been a lucky mistake, and my solve path would not have been good. So luckily, I made a mistake that broke the puzzle rather than a mistake that solved the puzzle more easily. I much prefer that for my videos. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.